I recently posted about how Project L has signups now. They changed the name to 2XKO, and then they said that, hey, we're going to do an at-home playtest this year, and then kind of slid at the bottom of their new website that there's going to be signups for that, and they're actually open right now, and I'll put a link in the description to the video where I talk about that. And somebody on that video said that I should do predictions on who's next to come out. And oh yeah, I'm going to do that. Yeah, big thanks to this guy, Bryce. Thank you. If you guys enjoy this video, be sure to thank him. All right. It's time to get down to business. I've got a theory, okay? And it starts with who we already know is coming out. And who do we already know is coming out? Well, we get information from a few different places, including the EVO event, where a lot of people got to try it, videos past and present videos. Right now, who we know is confirmed, we have Darius, Echo, Ari, Alawi, Yasuo, and I didn't forget about Jinx. The first video they showed us of gameplay of Project L, Jinx was in it. There's been some other leaks and things that people think, but I'm just going off of who we know for a fact is going to be in the game on launch. Being said, the rest of the video is just pure speculation with not a whole lot of evidence behind it. I just think it's gonna be fun. It's at this point where maybe you got a little bit of a pattern like I did, okay? Right now, we have a man and a woman from Ionia. We have a man and a woman from Piltover and Zon. And there's a theory that the next person coming out is Katarina, and I know I said I wouldn't really bring that up, but I also kind of subscribe to I think that's who's going to come out. So with that in mind, I believe we have a male and a female from each region, and obviously that's not necessarily feasible, but as a baseline, we're going to work with that. Other than their regions, there are some characteristics that we need to look for in these champions that are going to be added, right? Obviously, we're not going to see an enchanter support be added to the game, at least not in the first wave. I think it'd be cool if they did something like that. I just don't expect to see Yuumi in the cast of 2XKO. Assuming they're going to start simple and work their way up as the game gets its footing. So what we're going to look for is things that are interesting, characters that have base fighting animations that are easy to translate into a fighting game, and characters that are just generally more popular or could be more popular given the situation that they're going to be put in. Now that we've laid out the groundwork, it's time to get to the fun part. Let's go from left to right, top to bottom of the map of Runeterra, starting with Demacia. All right, Demacia I was conflicted about because you're thinking, oh, obviously they're going to add Garen and maybe Xin Zhao, but Riot likes to do this thing where they don't take easy cop-outs. That's why we don't have Arcana Twisted Fate. So I had to do a little bit more thinking. Garen's not really a bad guess considering we already have Darius, but I'm thinking Riot's going to go for a little bit more of a different direction. I know they're thinking a lot of their flagship characters would be good to put in this game, but considering they made their name 2XKO, they want to appeal to a brighter audience and don't necessarily need their flagship characters, at least not all of them, to be at the forefront of this game. That being said, I would like to personally see, and what I suspect they'd be doing, is we're going to see Sylas and Shyvana. And I know you're saying, what, Shyvana? Because she's getting a rework soon, and I really don't expect them to put a new design that they haven't really thought out 100% into the game. This is more so, hey, I'd love to see Shyvana in this game. That'd be sick. Her big ultimate just crashing in or like layering the ground of fire. Dude! Either they're going to get Sylas Shyvana or they're going to do something lame like Fiora Garen. But I'm going to lock in for Demacia, Shyvana, and Sylas. Moving to the right and a little north, we're going to talk about the Freljord. These champions, there's a lot of good ones, but trying to keep to our guidelines, I think the most likely are going to be Udyr and Sejuani. And I know you're thinking, oh, Sejuani, like you did about Shyvana, because I could just read your mind. Yeah, I think they're going to go for more humanoid people. Sejuani fits that. You just kind of cut Bristle out for most of the attacks. She's still a really awesome fighter in the Freljord. The only reason she really rides, well, okay, there's multiple reasons why she rides Bristle, but the big thing is so she can use her True Ice Flail just en masse because it hurts her so much to use. She has to bite down on leather. What if she could just use it, bro? And I know what you're thinking, and I thought it too, okay? Volibear would be perfect, right? Well, that's where Udyr comes in, okay? He gives you the representation of the Freljordian gods, and he's already got this big fighting style in his basic form in League of Legends. This is perfect. Udyr is a missed opportunity if they don't add him to the game. Okay, locking in on Freljord, I'm going to go Udyr and Sejuani. Even more east, now we're on to Noxus. Now, we already have Darius, And there's been leaks of Katarina, and honestly, I think those are two perfect fitting champions. However, due to the Soul Fighters event, I'm really hoping to see Samira in there soon. But yeah, for sure, it's gonna be Darius and Katarina without a doubt. And even further east in Ionia, we already have revealed Yasuo and Ahri. Moving way west again, and a little bit south, we're gonna talk about Targon. Now, Targon obviously is gonna include Pantheon without a doubt. But I'm also thinking they're going to add Diana or Leona because they have really cool looking weapons, they've got awesome lore, they're decently popular, and they really translate well into the fighting game. The only part I'm not confident about is if they're even going to add Targon at all. But if they do, it's definitely going to be Pantheon and Diana and or Leona. And now we're on to Shurima. Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, it's gotta be someone like Azir and Shiver. Well, okay. Well, let's talk about that, okay? We already have the summon combo thing going on with Yasuo and Alawi. I don't really think they're gonna copy that thing for Shurima. They might, but I just don't see it. Like, also the same thing going on with Sivir. They already have the whole pokey long-range thing going on with Jinx. It's likely that she could be added anyway. She could fight with her Chalikar as like a melee weapon. It'd be kind of neat, but I think they're just gonna stick with Jinx, at least for a while. For Shurima, I don't think Sivir's a bad guess, but I'm gonna get into why I don't think it's her later when we get to Ixtal. But I do honestly really hope to see Rek'Sai, and the perfect fit for the fighter from Shurima is gonna be Renekton. He just works. Once again, we're gonna walk down west to Ixtal. Now, I know I said we were going to have a male and female from each area, but Ixtal doesn't really have a lot of males, and I think Rengar would be a good fit, but his whole identity is the whole jumping thing, and I feel like he'd be really boring to animate and make a really interesting character in 2XKO. That being said, I'd really love to see Nidalee. She's got two different forms, she's got a pokey bit, she's got really cool mechanics in the actual game, and I feel like those could translate really well into a fighting game. And if you didn't see this coming, it's okay because I'm huffing coke. I feel like Qiyana is just absolutely perfect for this sort of thing. She's got a really unique weapon, she's got a lot of dashes, she fits really well into the fighting style, she could have a really cool mechanic in the game, and is also why I don't think they would be adding Sivers, because they already have the same kind of animations going on with Qiyana, who's super popular and super perfect for the game. Locking in for Ixtal, we have Qiyana and Nidalee. Not going to talk much about Shadow Isles. It's just going to boil down to I love the Soul Fighter event, and I think Viego and Gwen would be perfect to be translated in. I love the scissors. I love the super big sword. And they have really easy animations that could look really awesome. Yordles. Okay, I think they're going to add Rumble and Poppy if they add any Yordles. I think the mech and the hammer, it works too well for them not to do if they're going to add Yordles. Bilgewater, yeah. Okay, we already have Alawi, but honestly, let's take a second to think about who else would work. I feel like Gangplank could be cool. He's a little boring with just the sword and the gun, and the animations could get stale. But we also have a few individuals from Bilgewater that I think are perfect, including, but not limited to, but all I'm going to talk about, Pyke. We don't have the big dashy kind of feel. We have the TP around Katarina, but we don't have the big dashy, stabby, elusive kind of style that I feel like would work really well with Pyke. Forgot to mention Piltover and Zon, but we already have Jinx and Echo, so it's not worth talking about. That's it. Those are my official predictions. Gonna recap them real quick. We've got Silas, Shyvana, Udyr, Sejuani, Darius, Katarina, Yasuo, Ahri, Pantheon, Diana, Renekton, Rek'Sai, Nidalee, Qiyana, Viego, Gwen, Rumble, Poppy, Alawi, Pyke, Jinx, Echo. If you made it this far in the video, I can't explain to you how much gratitude I have for you watching the whole thing. And I would really, really love to know your opinion on who you would either like to see in the game, or who you disagree you think is going to come into the game, or who you think, yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool in the game. Just let me know in the comments. Start a conversation. I'm going to respond to every single one of you that I can, because I'm really hyped for this game, and I cannot get enough of it. I just want to talk about it even more.